Hey everyone, I just wanted to show you this sandworm that I made as another Beetlejuice costume accessory. Um, yeah, it's pretty long. It's the width of my bed or longer, and yeah. So I had the head 3D printed from a friend of mine, and the body was actually the hardest part for me to make because the like when if you're sewing something and you have a pattern or something that's shaped like a diamond, then you can just seam it on both ends, like sew it on both ends. But I wanted this to have a just a seam on one side, but because of the taper, like it's wider here than it is down here, then yeah, the shape that I cut out would have like a straight edge and then a uh, long edge going up from there. So when you'd sew it, you'd end up with um, like a line that was kind of longer than the other one. So it was really hard to avoid having the fabric bunch up, which somehow I managed to do. However, um, because of the way this shape is of the fabric, the seam here, because I only wanted one seam, ends up kind of twisting, and then you can see here how it wraps all the way around to that side. So yeah, luckily that's not very noticeable. I'm just really nitpicky about stuff. But yeah, so the seam would start on like one side and then just kind of wrap around to the other side. But luckily, there's a wire in there so I can kind of twist the body and shape it a little bit better. And so, yeah, nobody's going to notice that. But I've seen, things in the store that are kind of sewed together that way too. So now I understand that it's tricky getting, something that shape to line up nicely. Anyways, so the tongue here is, oops, uh, that wasn't part of the 3D print. So the 3D print had, this head and this head, and it didn't have these teeth, and it didn't have the tongue. So I ended up making a tongue out of, let's see if I can get that to stand up, out of just some white foam weather stripping, and then I painted little black lines on there just to match. Yeah, I painted all of this here, mostly nail polish. Like I bought a set of different nail polishes, so that turned out really well, this purple color. And then these little pink dots on there. And then the eyes, that was all nail polish. And then underneath here, that was like the mouth was acrylic paint. And the side here is nail polish again as well. And all the eyes are nail polish. I like it because it dries quick, and it's basically model paints. The teeth are supposed to be black and white stripes, but they're so tiny. Like, look at that compared to my finger. I don't have a steady enough hand to be able to paint black and white stripes on this guy's teeth. So I just painted them to kind of match these ones. Oh yeah, so for the bottom teeth here, I ended up making a mold and a cast out of plastic, some two-part plastic that you mix together. So what I did was I used just a clay mold. I pressed the upper teeth into some clay, and then I poured some plastic into that, and then I just kind of refined the teeth shapes with the screwdriver. So there was a teeth impression into the clay, and then I used a mini screwdriver just to go over the teeth impression. So you can see here on these bottom teeth how it looks like. Let's see if I can get to focus. It looks like the tip of a screwdriver, right? So I poured some plastic into the clay and let it set, and then before it got too solid, I shaped it. I shaped the clay to the shape of the mouth, and then let the plastic set after that, so that when I pulled the plastic out, then it would take that same shape. So it might sound kind of difficult, but it's fairly easy. I knew what I was doing. The sandworms are supposed to have like a shark fin back here, so I haven't added that. I'm not sure if I will or not, because I kind of like it the way it is, but I think ideally it should have the fin there. So I'll probably just make that out of some foam like this. This kind of crap that's in my garbage here right now. So if I were to cut something like that, paint it black, stick it on there. I suppose I could have used this material here, made a fin right here, because that's where the material starts, that's where the body starts, and then this is all painted from here up. So it's a pretty close match. Oh yeah, and then this was just some hobby paint that I used for the black. It wasn't nail polish. And originally it was white, and then that's just a primer. White primer. So the paint would stick better. My only disappointment is that if I were to wear this around my neck, the head is very heavy. Well, it's actually really light for a 3D print, but compared to the rest of the body, it's pretty, like, I wanted it to pose a little bit better than that, and it doesn't really want to, the wire's not stiff enough to support that weight, because I wanted it to, be able to flex up like that or something, whereas if it's around my neck, then it's just going to droop. But that's not too bad. I'm fine with that, because all this detail and everything. It wasn't too tricky to paint, but you can see some spots like this in the eye. There's areas where it's kind of pink there. That's where I had to go back over it with white. And it's not perfectly round, but I don't care. It is just hand painted. Oh yeah, and if you look all the way in there, there's I used some black foam core on the inside of the head, and then the wire is just kind of wrapped through that foam core, just kind of hooking through, so in one hole and then out the other hole, and then that foam core is glued in like a couple different spots, and then I stuffed the inside of the head with some stuffing, and then like all around the wire, and then the wire runs all the way down the center of the body. So yeah, like I said, like and subscribe, and let me know if you think I should put a fin on there or not. And if you end up making one, good luck. Take care.